California for a trip with Utah Boy. We're gonna be there for 5 days. At least I am. I'm arriving this morning at like 8 a.m. Okay, he doesn't get there till noon, and we don't check into our Airbnb until 4. But I do have a friend down there that I'm gonna go kind of hang out with until he gets there. But he's leaving Sunday night, and then I'm staying by myself Monday and Tuesday. So it's gonna be a fun trip. I'm finally committing to a vlog of it. Record as my little phone camera, and we're all gonna have a good time. So let's go to California. Okay, we just landed in Newport. I don't even have like a hotel or anything for like the last 2 days I'm here. I'm trying not to think about the situation with Utah Boy. I just am trying to be calm about it. I honestly, like, I cry over everything, but I haven't really cried over this. Anyways, let's go say hi to Lauren. Hi! Oh my god. Oh my god. She used to live in Austin. I don't know if you guys remember her from Austin, but I babysat her dog Winston, which I get to see my lover boy again, so my little nephew, and maybe we'll go on a double date. We'll see. We'll see. I'm obsessed with in here. I could cry. Look at the little cactuses, and it's pink, and it's giving Barbie. I love being a silly little influencer with my silly little phone and my silly little coffee. Hi, lover boy. Oh, you precious man. Look at you. Having a little beachside work day. My beachside, I mean not the beach. My beachside, I mean the pool. I'm editing this here podcast episode. I'm still at Lauren's. We're watching Love Island together. And she's my lifesaver. I don't know what I would have done on this trip without her so far. I don't know what's going on. Basically, we're in the same city right now, and I have yet to see him. I landed at 8 a.m. Okay, he landed at noon. It's now 3. Where is he? He's working. Why are you working on vacation? Where are you? Why aren't you trying to see me? I don't know. I'm so fine, by the way. I'm so fine. God, you guys, that coffee we had this morning is hitting me. This is me right now. As if I took 16 sips of Celsius, and we know how that goes down. It doesn't help that I'm nervous. Calling my Uber. We're about to go see Utah Boy. We're about to get to the hotel. And I really, truly hope that I am just freaking out and overthinking for no reason and jumping to conclusions. So let's hope that he's actually in a great mood and that all of this was just a big misunderstanding. Heading inside right now, about to go see him. The Utah Boy and I just went to dinner and came home. By home, I mean the Airbnb. Okay, that's where we are right now. Here's our little room, but basically we just kind of talked about what in the world we're doing here. Anyways, he's taking a walk right now to decompress. Nothing left to say. I feel like we made our decision. At the end of it, I was like, can I just ask you to hold me? Like, I just want to pretend like everything's fine for the next 2 days so we can move on with our lives. So we just laid there and held each other, and he was squeezing my hand, and we just had like a little understanding that like this is so painful for both of us. We know that we're probably not going to talk much after this. It really is just so painful for both of us, and my heart goes out to him because I know how hard it is for me. The distance seems to be pretty insurmountable for him, at least. Cheers. Utah Boy booked a flight home. He leaves in like an hour, and I mean, it is what it is. It's really painful. Like, we just went to breakfast and just like sitting across from him, knowing how much love we both have in our hearts for each other, and yet we are consistently hurting each other by trying to stay together. I mean, if you love someone, let him go, right? I really did not want him to go. It was like, we can make this work as friends. I mean, I obviously know that I deserve more when it comes to a relationship, but I was like, friends-wise, like, I know it was gonna be awkward, but I'd rather have as many memories with him as I can. I don't know if I'm gonna see him again. I don't even know how to explain how my heart feels right now. I'm in Newport alone. Came to California together. He changed his flight. It's so hard to let go of each other that we just keep trying to replay the same thing. I'm like, oh, let's just stay friends, and then if we go down this road, then we're just gonna get closer again. I'm scared that I'm not gonna find that same gentle love, and honestly, I'm scared that gentle love didn't even exist. So he told me, don't ever apologize for how deeply you feel, and there will be someone who embraces that. I shouldn't have to live with someone who isn't able to keep up with that. That he needs someone who can seamlessly work into his life. That won't be me. And when he left, just looked at me and like had my arms, was like looking at me, and he was just like, promise me you're gonna have a good rest of the trip, and you're gonna have fun, and you are gonna be happy, and you're gonna be okay. And he's like, I love you very much. I still very much hope for a future with you. And just telling me he loves me very much, and he hopes to see me soon. And then he kissed me, and then he tried to walk away, and I just held on. He said the same thing, did the same thing, and then he kissed me 2 more times. Told me he loved me. He walked away. He just left, and lot. And I'm on the beach crying. Told me not to let this ruin my vacation. Come on, bud. Come on, be so for real. Obviously the situation isn't ideal. We did the best we could. Now I'm alone in California, sitting on the beach. It's a Sunday morning. I'm sorry, are my under eyes always this terrifying, or is this just like the lighting? I keep waiting to feel anything. I guess I was crying a shit ton, like yesterday and the day before. I was annoyed with this whole situation. I offered to get my own room because I was like, listen, if we're here as friends, let's be here as friends and let's, you know, act accordingly. He said he didn't want me to. So I was like, you know what, maybe we're okay. Maybe I'm freaking out and we're actually just fine. So I get here and he doesn't communicate. I don't know, I felt like he didn't really care where I was or what I was doing or like if I was safe. Right off the bat, I was like, you know what? I want to go into this with love and I don't want to let him ruin my vacation. And so I was talking to my mom. She's like, just be cheerful and just see what happened. Wait for him to bring it up and just hang out until then. We didn't talk about it. I was like, he is going to bring it up. I refused to say anything. And then that's just kind of how it stayed, is we genuinely pretended like each other didn't exist. It was so fucking weird. It's not a side of him that I've ever seen. He's always so attentive to me and he's always so sweet to me and he's always like literally attached at my hip. Like this is not a side of him that I've ever seen before. Every time I looked at him, he was just watching TikTok and I was like, okay. And it was like absolutely killing me to be so close to him and not be able to be close to him. And then we went to dinner and he still didn't bring it up. And we got home from dinner and he still didn't bring it up. And like we went on a walk after dinner, nothing. Like we didn't hold hands, we barely talked. It was so awkward. I told you since the beginning, he's someone I could talk to for hours on end. We don't shut up. So this was so fucking weird. Finally, he was on his phone next to me in bed and I go, look at me. And he's like, what? And I was like, look at me. Like, look at me, okay? Make eye contact with the person that you love that you're here with. Look at me. I'm still gonna speak on how I feel. So just know that this is not a statement on his character. It's just a statement on what happened. And we had a conversation and I was like, can we just pretend like things are normal for like the last 2 days? We have 2 days left together. And can we at least pretend to enjoy them? He's like, I can't pretend that things are normal right now because they very clearly aren't. He's like, I would be lying to say that things are normal right now. He's like, I don't want to lie to you. He's like, I don't know what our future looks like from here and I don't want to continue acting like this, pretending like we know that we have a future or what our future might be, and we just don't have any answers. So I just don't think that it's smart to like, now I look like I have a freaking sunburn. I don't know if that was my point or not, but I made a joke. I was like, can we just trauma bond a little longer, because that's genuinely like what it's becoming, is like we are hurting each other so much by like having to rip ourselves away from each other and then go back to it and then go back and then and it's not that like we're meaning to hurt each other. That's what happens with distance. He's like, I just don't think that I can love you in the way that you need to. He's like, I don't think I realized how much you connect by having deep conversations and talking about things. He literally told me, he's like, I've never met anybody who wants to have those conversations as much as you do. And he's like, I just can't keep up. I was really confused. That's how we bonded, is I love him and I adore him because we can have those conversations. He told me, he's like, well, I just thought it was really interesting, but now I like can't keep up. Was I a little experiment? Was I like this little like lab rat that you're like, whoa, I've never seen this before? I don't know, but I do know that the person who loves me will like to have those conversations and it will fulfill them as much as they do me. It's not even just like reassurance. It's just things that I found interesting or topics I want to discuss or like things that I think deeply about or like mindset shifts and things like that. Like one of the very first conversations I had with him around New Year's Eve is I was like, let's talk about our goals together. I think physical touch like says 1,000 words. Being able to hug someone you love says so much, and that's really, really how he bonds. And I felt like I could keep going, but he was like, it's just not in the cards for me. You can't blame him for it. I'm not gonna ask someone to change themselves to love me differently, and he's not gonna ask the same. He deserves to be loved in a way that he understands, and I do too. And I deserve someone who doesn't shut down when things get hard. Like he literally physically left. I've had it in the back of my mind, like right person, wrong time, and maybe we can make this work. But the way that he's treated me, the way that I've seen him react to this really shown me that this is not a person that I want to continue to get the opportunity to love me. I know how I'm meant to be loved, and I'm so excited for that person to come along that's like, wow. And that's what's so tough, is like he really was that for a long time. Like that person that I was like, wow, I've never been loved like this before. Like this feels so right, so perfect. You loved me just the way that I needed. But it turns out that that wasn't sustainable for him. I'll find someone, and until then, I am a whole person as it is. Let's go have a vacation. They're going to Joey's in Newport Beach. So I just kind of been like hanging out. It's been weird, it's been lonely, it's been fine, but I still am kind of bored and I kind of want to go home. I'm just so glad that I know people down here. Like, I didn't even realize how many people I knew down here. And thank God, because I need to not be alone and like in my feels right now. It's Monday morning and I am taking myself out to a cute little breakfast. I'm at this place called Eat Chow. I'm starting to have fun, you know, like I'm starting to find little things that I'm finding enjoyable. I went out to dinner with a friend last night and we got like little McFlurries and drove around, took some fire pictures on the beach. Like at the end of the day, I'm glad I stayed. I was literally just showing you guys how happy and glad and gleeful I was, and then I just poured my shaken espresso in my lap. We're fine, everything's fine, everything's literally so fine. That's like my breaking point right now. You know, today's honestly been so fun so far. Like, I'm eating an acai bowl right now. One of my things that I want to do here for sure was go on a bike ride at sunset and like get acai. And me and Utah Boy didn't plan any of that together, but I was like, listen, we'll just make it happen over there. But now I can just make it happen on my own. This bowl is literally so fucking good. I took myself out to breakfast this morning and then I hung out with one of my friends. I actually have never met her in person before, so we finally met in person today. And then after that, I went straight to the pool with my friend Lauren. She got a new job today, so we're gonna celebrate that tonight at Joey's, which was where I was last night. Okay, at this point I literally have no idea where I am, and I tried to find a bike rental place that said it was open. Went there, did not exist. So now we're on bike rental place number 2. I found a place, it's called Fry's Market, and they're open so much later than all other places. I was thinking the sweetest lady ever. So I was like, yeah, it's like $5 for an hour, return it whenever, go get that sunset. So embarrassing, but I can't like get this brake seat to come off. It's so low. I look like a little toddler riding a bike. This is fine, this is so fine. Oh, it's working. Is it a good height? Oh yeah. I'm so scared to be filming right now, but I literally feel like a child. Like, I feel like my inner child is here like, oh, Mormon missionaries. They're always the sweetest. My Mormon roots are quaking. I could fall over. I literally just dropped my phone back there, but now I figured out that I should steer with my right hand instead of my left. The sun is setting, the wind is in my hair, and I'm single as a motherfucker. I'm sorry, who? This is the most inner child healing day of my life. Our little adventure together is coming to an end. This has been a fucking roller coaster. Thank you for coming on this roller coaster with me because wow, I think I just got whiplash 6 times. I've kind of fallen in love with Southern California. Like with Newport, I was super bored here at first, but I found like a lot of really fun things to do. I found like really fun people. Once his contract was up in Utah, we had talked about moving here together. You know what? I might just move here anyways, just by myself. The biggest thing that I've noticed is that like emotionally, I'm pretty much fine. Like I've definitely cried it out a little bit, but I'm not torn up like I have been before. And I think it's because I'm not expecting like right person, wrong time. Like I'm not expecting us to come back around in this, like closure this time. Like I am able to grieve that. The thing that I've noticed though is that I'm just tired. I'm just like exhausted, and I know I have so many things going for me, and I have a beautiful life and a beautiful community, and I have a big move coming up, and I have an event coming up in 2 weeks, and I have like so much happening for me right now, and I'm just tired because I really expected to be doing those things with him cheering me on, and like the thought of like now doing these things alone, even though he was not physically there to do them with me, even having like a text to be able to say, hey, like here's what happened today, here's what I did today, or him like encouraging me, like he was always so supportive and so encouraging. It's just about like the disappointment, realizing that he's not actually gonna be here for these like big life events. He offered friendship, you know, he was like, we can always stay in contact as friends, but for me that's not really something that I'm comfortable with because I really just don't want to be another girl to him. Like this is something that was so serious to me and it was so important to me. At least for now, a friendship is not a smart choice, but who knows what the future is gonna bring. I just don't think it's gonna bring a whole lot of Utah Boy. And I'm excited for the person that gets to love me because I literally have this thought all the time, and it's like I take such great care of myself and I put so much love into myself and I have so much going for me that the person who gets to love me is genuinely the luckiest fucking person. Like they are getting a beautiful beacon of light, and maybe that's like, that's not full of myself to say. I know that. I know how hard I've worked on myself, and I know how hard I've worked to get to where I am, and how much love that I pour into relationships. Anyways, let's go be young and single. I'm literally 20. I got so much time in my life, and I will see you at the airport. So I ordered a little pink drink with chocolate cold foam, and he just looks at me. That's a new one. Yes, but it's good, okay? Don't rate it to filth until you've tried it. I was literally just saying that it was fun. So fun.